Hey, if you sign on by the end of the month, I'm going to give you 10% off. Have you been tempted to do one of those deals with one of your prospects to get your new innovation moving in the marketplace? It's tempting, but in this video, I want to show you why that's a counterproductive strategy and what to do instead. Let's get into it right now. All right, credit where credit is due on this one. This one comes from Matt Green at Sales Assembly. He's one of my favorite sales trainers and sales training organizations. I think they do fantastic work, and I have been involved with training organizations like that for many, many years, and these guys know their stuff. Here's why that's counterproductive. When you're talking with a buyer about end of month, end of quarter, end of year, whatever the case may be, and you're offering a time-based incentive, let's say 10%, 20%, or some other incentive based on timing, what you're actually doing is communicating to that prospect what the real price they should be paying is. So if you're going to give 10% off by the end of the month, your price has automatically come down 10%. No one believes you that by the end of the month or the end of the quarter or the end of the year, that price won't still be there, especially when you're a new innovator and you're getting started in the marketplace. You're trying to ink a deal with a new distributor, or you're trying to sign on a bigger new client. You're in a lower power position already. So offering a discount like that is essentially telling them your real price is whatever that lower price is. The second one is it demonstrates a lack of awareness about what's going on. That timeline is important to you. It is not important to them. For the end of the month, the end of the quarter, end of the year, unless there's some real need that is in their business that is driving their decision by the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the quarter, it doesn't really matter to them. So by saying, well, you get 10% off by this date, they know they can sign on whenever. And if that date doesn't mean anything to them and it just means something to you, it doesn't really matter. So the question that Matt is asking you, and I love this question, is what is your appetite to wrap up this deal by the end of the week or the end of the month? Note the word. What is your appetite for this? This is really important from a timing perspective. From his point of view, meaning Matt's, you get some much better information. You will get something like, hey, if legal has to sign off on this, or procurement needs to decide on this, or I have someone out on maternity leave until X date. Well, that gives you some critical pieces of information. Or you might get something a lot more honest, like, hey, this just isn't that big of a priority for us right now. We've got other things going on. By asking about appetite, you actually get a lot more information about what is going on inside people's heads instead of just offering that discount. Here's what I would say from a timing perspective. There are always three ways to look at time: chronological, sequential, and perceptual. Meaning perceptual is the most important one of those three because that's what's actually driving the other two. When you talk about end of month, end of quarter, end of week, whatever the case may be, you are talking about chronological time. And unless that date is important to the customer, it doesn't really matter what that chronological time is. It means something to you. If it doesn't mean anything to them, it's off the table. The next one is sequential time. And listen to what Matt's question about appetite could get you. Hey, procurement needed to make a decision. Legal needed to make a decision. Someone needs to come back from maternity leave. Those are all sequential gates. The end of the week, end of the month, Q3, end of year, none of that matters if legal hasn't signed off. And if legal doesn't care, or procurement doesn't care, or the person's not in who needs to make the decision, it doesn't matter what your discount is. They couldn't take advantage of it anyway. So that's sequential time. You can already see where that's a little bit more valuable than chronological time. The third one, though, is perceptual time. What is the urgency? If they tell you, oh, we're really chomping at the bit, I need to find a way to get this done. Well, do you really need to give the discount? Absolutely not. Start to ask more questions about what's holding up the deal. Why do they really need to get that done? Why will things go sideways if they don't? And you can use that to your advantage. You get so much more information asking about appetite in time rather than asking about time directly. And certainly don't give a discount. So, what has been your experience with discounts in getting customers to actually move? Put your story down in the comments and we'll talk about it. Maybe I'll even grab Matt and we'll do a joint Q&A in the future. Until then, see you on the next one.